back to school weather, which is the topic of our next conversation. Lots of back to school preparations going on. And the City of Minneapolis is reminding all of us to make sure that our families are prepared as possible just in case of any potential emergency, especially if you or your loved ones might be at separate locations when or if something were to happen. So just some things to think about, have those conversations. Joining us now, the City of Minneapolis Emergency Management Director, Rachel Saird. Thank you for joining us, helping us prepare, because there's so many things to keep track of with back to school. Sometimes it's these conversations like, oh yeah, when's the last time we actually sat down as a family and talked about this? So as people are preparing, what are some of the things that you think they should think about, specifically talking about school-age kids? Parents going to work one direction, kids going to school, maybe some time after school where kiddo is home alone. What should we think about?
Yeah, well, thanks, Leah, for having me. So we want to make sure that all of our families in the city and beyond are prepared for this time of year. And one of the top things that you can really do is make sure you know what your kids' school or child care facilities emergency plans are. That's the #1 thing you should first do. Look in that school handbook. If it's not there, talk to your school administrators. Understand what are their plans for it if an emergency happens. How are they going to contact you? How are you going to best get through to contact them? Sometimes when an emergency happens, the phone lines in the area are really flooded, so texting can actually be a much better way to communicate than making calls.
Yeah, read those handbooks. They provide those. You work with school district to help implement some of those, right?
Yeah, we keep in touch with the school district, like all of our community partners, to make sure we're all tracking the same kind of risks and hazards for our community and helping the whole community prepare to face those hazards.
Do you have different recommendations for, I mean, we think of younger kids being home alone, but also school age, you know, kids that are driving, and different ages, obviously there's different needs.
Absolutely. So it's really important that your kids, when they are able to, memorize your phone numbers, the key phone numbers, your parents' phone numbers, a guardian's phone number. If they're too young, then make sure they know where you've written down on a contact card those phone numbers. Maybe it's in their backpack, maybe it's in their wallet. But in an emergency, you know, our brains tend to short circuit, so they got to know those phone numbers, practice with them, make it a game, or they know where it is in their backpack and get it easily.
Yeah, one of many good tips. Also want to talk about what we have and what I have grown up calling tornado sirens. But this is not the correct way to refer to these anymore. These are outdoor warning sirens, and explain the methodology of changing that name and getting us all conditioned to refer to it as outdoor warning sirens.
Yeah, I grew up here calling it tornado sirens too, but they are severe weather. So if it's not a tornado, but the wind hits a certain speed or hail is a certain size, they're going to go off. And it's really important that you talk with your family and your kids about what to do, especially if they're home alone for an hour after school before you get there. What do they do when those sirens go off? Seek shelter, go to your basement if you have one, or an indoor closed space, and seek information from a trusted source. You have to do both of those so you know why they're going off.
Yeah, and when they go quiet doesn't necessarily mean go back outside.
Yeah.
You have to condition everybody to know the rules and follow them.
That's right. That's another wild thing I didn't know growing up, is when the sirens stop, it doesn't mean the hazard's over. It just means that the battery of the siren has run out. So you need to seek that information from a trusted weather source to know when it's safe to go out.
Yeah, there's all sorts of various things that we could talk about. And you actually have classes focused on these and a lot more emergency preparedness. Talk about those classes and those opportunities.
Yep, so the City of Minneapolis Emergency Management Department, we are hosting Ready Camp classes. So those are for families, individuals to attend through the community education courses in Minneapolis. And you can learn what to have in your household emergency kit, steps you can take as a family to prepare for any type of emergency.
Yeah, we could all use a refresher, and this is a good time, like anything, to do it. Emergency Management Director Rachel Saird, thank you so much. We appreciate it, and people can find those links and that information on the city's website.
Exactly.
All right, thank you
so much.
Appreciate it.